bounce if you want to, lounge if you want to. Now you can bounce.
Congratulations, you finally made it to 4 p.m. You know what that means. Happy hour. It's time to kick back, relax, and dive into the world of sports with the Young and Norvelle Show. Whether you're catching up on the latest scores, analyzing the big plays, or gearing up for tonight's games, we've got you covered. So grab a cold one, settle in, and let's talk sports. Here they are, Patrick Young and Terry Norvelle.
The man acts like he's dying.
Thursday, that must mean Sliders Oyster Bar down here in Neptune Beach. We hang out here every Thursday, 4 to 6. I'm on the patio. Beautiful afternoon here in North Florida. Absolutely stunning. We've got about 65 degrees working. Beautiful sunny skies. The patio is starting to fill up. Folks dining on the patio. You can go inside, of course, at the liquor bar or the Oyster Bar. Johnny Pop manning the famous Oyster Bar here at Sliders. Glad you're with us here. We'll do it for 2 hours. A lot of topics to get to today. We hope Patrick will join us. You know, he's traveling back from Charlotte. We hope to hear from Patrick Young as the show goes on. A lot of stuff to get to over the next 2 hours. We start off with kind of a sad story, but a little bit bittersweet, I should say. We lost a funny man in the world of sports. You folks may only know him as a comedian, but Bob Uecker passed away. Or it was announced anyway that Bob Uecker has passed away at the age of 90 years old. That's kind of the bittersweet. So, I mean, he had a nice long life. But Bob Uecker was a real great baseball ambassador. He loved the game of baseball. His career was, to a degree, tied to baseball well after he got off the diamond and became, a TV sitcom guy, a movie guy, just a funny guy. And I would think you would be hard-pressed to find anyone that doesn't like or did not like Bob Uecker. Seemed to be like just a lovable guy. Career in the major leagues, didn't play much. He was a backup catcher. He bumped around the big leagues for 6 or 7 years. Actually played on a World Series winning team. He was with the St. Louis Cardinals a year. I think it was 64. They won a World Series, and he was on it and, got a World Series ring. He was backup catcher. I think Tim McCarver might have been the starting catcher for that team. But Bob Uecker, after he got out, late in his career, I think he started making his first appearance. If the story holds, I think Bob Uecker, kind of late in his baseball career, started messing around with comedy, and he would go to some comedy clubs. And I think by being a major leaguer, that helped him get in some of these, just local comedy clubs. And supposedly he opened up for some decent-sized acts and did well. And I think one of the comedy club owners had an inside in with Johnny Carson. And obviously Johnny Carson 60s, 70s, 80s, he was just dominant in late night. He was Johnny Carson. And Uecker, kind of looking for a second fun career after baseball, was messing around with comedy. And one of the people at the comedy club he was at had an in with Johnny Carson, kind of made a few calls, and Bob Uecker popped up and did a comedy skit on Carson. Carson liked him. And again, Johnny Carson, for probably 25 years, ran Hollywood. I mean, he pretty much ran Hollywood. If you played the Carson show, and if you were good, and if you were a comedian, the story went, if he asked you to come sit down next to him, come on the set, leave this when your set was over. If he said, "Hey, come on over," that meant he liked you, and that was a badge of honor. If you're